Welcome to my next video. We're going to be changing oil and oil filter on my Kawasaki Vulcan 900. This is the first oil change on this, so let's not hesitate. Let's get started. Okay, now our first step of changing the oil and oil filter. I'm going to warm up the engine thoroughly and then stop it. I'm going to place an oil pan beneath the engine and remove the oil drain plug. If it sounds like I'm reading from the book, I am reading from the owner's manual. We have here is the oil drain plug. We'll go ahead and loosen her up, drain the oil. Take our oil drain pan / dog bowl. Take the plug all the way out, of course. There we have it. And now the oil is draining. So we'll let that drain out and then we'll move to the next step, which will be, of course, the oil filter. Okay, now we got the oil drained. What we're going to do is take off the regulator / rectifier cover, which will be right here. Got 2 bolts. Go ahead and pull those off. This is how we're going to get to the oil filter. Like a lot of work to me just to get to the oil filter, but gotta be done. 1 bolt, and 2 bolts. Now we're going to pull off your regulator. We're going to have to pull our bracket out. Get to that. They all seem to be all 10mm bolts, so that makes it a little easier. Anyway. Just remember what bolt goes where. Get that out of the way. Now we're ready to take the oil filter off. I laid out some more absorbent mat because I don't know how much oil is going to come out of here. When I first grab the oil filter, it's pretty tight, so I'm going to get my handy dandy oil filter wrench, give it a good tug. But yeah, the factory got that on there good. Like I said, this is my first oil change. I'm going to also slide my drain pan under there because I don't know how much oil is coming out of there. Here it comes. Drop it in there. Let that drain out. And we'll just take reverse for procedure and install everything. Okay, now that the oil all drained out, let it drip out. It'll wipe out my oil that dripped everywhere. Just wipe it off. Now we're make sure we got a clean surface where the new oil filter is gonna go on. I'm gonna take my new oil filter I got from my favorite place, Indie Cycle and Ski. It's where I picked up my nice Kawasaki Vulcan. So went in town, dropped by, tell my guy on YouTube sent you. I'm gonna take a little bit of clean oil, wipe on the oil filter gasket, and I always like topping it off, putting a little oil in the oil filter so I won't have a dry start. I might lose a little bit. Might lose a little bit screwing it on, but yeah, I still got my oil pan down there to catch whatever I miss. Okay. Now, of course, you're just going to hand tighten that. Don't use tools because you might risk puncturing the oil filter, of course. Put the regulator on. Now for cover. Okay, now we got the oil all drained out and the new oil filter on. Now we're going to add the new oil. Down here, bottom of the motorcycle, this is where your indicator level shows you, if you're low or full on oil. That's where you check it. And on top, obviously, right where it says oil, that's where you add it. So let's get started doing that. I think I'll just go ahead and fill her up, and since you don't need to see me add oil, that's boring, we'll just skip that part. Well, got the oil all put back in, started it up, let it run for a minute or two, recheck my oil, add it as necessary. It's good to go, so I'm ready to go cruising. Another question for anybody that can maybe help me out there. I want to change my exhaust system. I'd like to go, of course, a little louder. Can anybody give me any ideas what would be good and what I'd have to do? So send me a message or something if you have any preference what type of exhaust system I should use on this. I don't want to go too crazy loud, but a little bit more radical than the stock, of course. So hit me up, leave me a message, and be safe. Let's go cruising, boys.